Hello students, and welcome to the next lesson in our AS level psychology course. Today we're going to be looking at biological therapies. The biological approach. The biological approach is used to explain that abnormality is a form of explaining abnormal behavior which arises from symptoms caused by physiological causes. So this pretty much sums up to say that physiological causes of the body is going to make someone be abnormal. Therefore, it can be physically treated by manipulating how our body is going to work. And we can do this by either using drugs or electroconvulsive therapy, both of which are techniques used in order to try and change our body chemistry or the way our body works in order to become less abnormal and more normal. Drugs. Drugs can either be curative, which are drugs which aims to cure the problem that are being caused in the body, or they can be palliative. These are drugs that are going to suppress the symptoms of a physiological cause, which could actually cause abnormality. Now, a type of drug used to treat abnormality is antipsychotics. These are drugs which are used to treat psychotic disorders, such as that of schizophrenia. They lower dopamine levels, for example, haloperidol, which is a type of antipsychotic, and by lowering dopamine levels, we're not going to have this surplus of dopamine, which is going to cause schizophrenia. Therefore, the antipsychotic is going to treat schizophrenia, and as a result, it will lead in someone having more normal behavior. Antidepressants are another type of drug, for example, the most famous one being Prozac, and these are used to treat depression. They're going to raise levels of serotonin in order to keep someone a lot happier, and as a result, this is going to remove the abnormal behavior of always being depressed. Anxiolytics are another type of drug which are used to treat anxiety. The most famous examples are benzodiazepine, which is going to increase GABA levels, which we looked at earlier in the course in our stress section. This way, since we're going to be treating anxiety and stress, someone is going to become more normal. Now we're going to evaluate the use of drugs in order to treat the biological conditions which are going to cause abnormality. The advantages of using drugs is that they're cheap and a lot cheaper than electroconvulsive therapy, and also they work in the short term. Electroconvulsive therapy takes ages to actually get going, and as a result, if you want to instantly cure yourself of perhaps an abnormality, the drugs are probably the best way to do it. The disadvantages, however, is that drugs are mostly palliative, so most drugs are not going to actually cause they're not going to cure the cause itself, and they're just going to suppress the symptoms. Also, if you use drugs, there is a risk of addiction and becoming addicted to them, which can lead to health defects. This leads to the third point, which is that the use of drugs can lead to side effects which are always harmful for the human body. Also, drugs may not actually work for everyone. Everyone's body chemistry is different, and what a benzodiazepine, for example, as an anxiolytic, may work for one person, it may not increase GABA levels in another. Also, you can build up a tolerance against them, which ultimately can in fact render them useless. However, you can't build up a tolerance to ECT or electroconvulsive therapy, and as a result, it's probably less effective than electroconvulsive therapy in the long run. Now we're actually going to look at electroconvulsive therapy. ECT makes electrical convulsions run through the brain. As they run through the brain, they're going to kind of shock the patient as electrodes are placed on each temple of the head. Brief shocks are then administered to the brain, and these shocks are going to change levels of serotonin and noradrenaline, which can treat depression and anxiety. And as a result, as we are using all of these shocks to change someone's chemical makeup in their brain, they are then going to cure the physical causes which are going to lead to this abnormal behavior and cause them to become less abnormal. Now we're going to evaluate ECT. The advantages are that it's proven to cure the disease and be curative, and also it does not cause brain damage. However, it can cause memory loss, and also it's really expensive compared to drugs. It's also true that 85% of users that actually do ECT relapse into a depression later on, so in the long run it may not be that effective. Also, it only works on 70% of people, so the other 30% aren't going to be cured of abnormality if they use ECT. Here are some questions on biological therapies, including ECT and drugs. have a go at answering these on another sheet of paper by pausing the video, and then hit play whenever you're ready to see the answers. Here are the answers. If you got these right, congratulations. I'd advise you to move on to the next video, which will be on the behavioural explanation of psychopathology. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you